All right, shout out the homie who was in the Tesla just sending it. There was like 5 or 6 Teslas around, 2 Model X's playing around. That specific guy was sick. We talked at a couple of the lights. Damn, Teslas, they make no noise, so I don't think I'd ever get one unless I got like 10 other cars, but wow, very quick. We just did like a 0 to, let's just say, deep into triple digits after that little one when I put down the camera, because you gotta be safe, you know? But we're out here, headed up into Newport Coast. I'm gonna go talk to you guys for a little bit in a sec. I like doing them in the car, you know? I do. It's where my creative thoughts lie. I gotta go get a Starbucks real quick, get a little bit of work done, and then I got you guys.
Pulled up in a Porsche, pulled off in a race, yeah, pulled up in a...
All right, now that that is done, it's a little bit darker out now, but still an absolutely gorgeous night. So we got a little bit of daylight to work with. I want to talk about a concept. You know, it's actually not even a concept. You guys are gonna hear my full thought process on this as I just free flow off the dome on this topic of something that actually was, you know, there's a lot of variables that go into anything you do and any result you create, but definitely one of the majority, or like, you know, the majority share thing that really helped me start making money, because it was funny. As much as I wanted to make money, and I struggled with this for many years, about 5 to be specific, before I started making any real amount of money, I could feel it. So right before I actually started making really good money, I could just feel it. I was like, I've had a shift. And it was kind of funny. I don't think I'll be able to find it to throw it back up, but I posted on my Snapchat story, this was definitely way over a year ago, saying I just had a massive shift. Things are about to change. And at this time, you know, I had no audience. That was not what I was doing to make money or anything. And this is what led to me making my first $10,000 a month. There's a difference. Not $10,000 in a month, okay? I'd made 10,000 in a month up to that, but that's like random, you know, volatile things where it was never consistent, you know, 2 grand in a month and 5, 10, 3, you know, which was fine, because, you know, that wasn't like, I was living at home. It's not like I had any crazy expenses, but, you know, I would just use that money to travel and whatnot. So for example, that 10,000 in a month came from flipping an Instagram account. So I built it and then sold it. I would buy some and then resell them. So that was kind of like, you know, one of my little hustles. So I made 10,000 in a month, but getting to $10,000 a month, big difference. Let me talk about what this principle is first of all, and a few things that build off of it, because this is something that has ever, like, it's just ever changing, and it's really like blowing my mind, and I want to help because I don't see anybody else talking about it. And maybe it's because I shouldn't be sharing this. Maybe the people who taught it to me are about to get really pissed off. Sorry, but you know what? I feel like this is something that's just helped me so much, and it probably won't matter. This is the whole thing of with anything you share, it's probably not gonna matter because people won't use it anyways. You know, so odds are you're not gonna understand this, you're not gonna grasp it, believe it, whatever. So understanding that, first of all, to give you a little background, the average American makes $56,000, give or take, in a year. In a year. Let me repeat that. The average American makes 56,000 US dollars in a fiscal year. I believe I use that term, I don't really know my terms, fiscal. In a 12-month period, think about that for a second. 56, that's nothing. And before people get butthurt, because there's gonna be someone disliking the video already, people dislike it no matter what, there's gonna be someone commenting, that is not a lot of money, okay? Was it Peter Thiel, okay, billionaire, worth 2-point-something billion, said, in today's age in America, you cannot even provide proper legal defense for you or your family if you are not worth at least $10 million. 10 million. Okay, there's a reason he said that. There's a reason he's smart and successful. So back to the whole, like, what this concept is, and this is a big shift for me because, you know, making 50 grand a year, you know, I always had bigger ambitions than that, but really understanding that the money piece is nothing. Like, it's crazy to me now, and I'll explain the evolution in a second, but you really genuinely have to get in that mindset, in that zone, that whatever amount of money you're trying to make is not a lot of money. And I'm not gonna throw names out, but there's some big people in the internet space, and I'm not talking kids making, you know, 100 grand doing some YouTubes. I mean, like, the biggest, like, you know, hearing my type of ads all over YouTube, making millions a month, and the people I'm learning from are laughing at him, talking about how broke he is, even though, you know, he's making 50, 60 million a year. So it's really blowing my mind at the perception on money. Like, that's one of the reasons I live down here in Newport Beach. It's real wealth. Okay, in LA, if someone's driving a Lambo, it's because, you know, they got Lambo money, whatever, they want to stunt, have some fun. But down here, they have it, they're driving it around because it's their cheapest car, and they have 30 other ones and they're worth $1 billion. There's a massive difference, massive. So understanding that for me, and really clicking, I'm like, I can totally do it. I see these people making 100 grand a month, 20 grand, 50 grand, living in these houses. I can do it, I can do it, I can do it. I hit this big shift where I just understood it. And I don't know how well I really grasped that, but it was like, you really have to get over that. And it's tough. I don't even have a specific piece of advice I can give to you on how to do that. I'm sorry, I really don't. I'm just trying to, like, you know, explain this one concept of money's not a lot of money. You know, I have people that I now learned from it, like, even for an example, just as an example, this is a beautiful Aston Martin right here. Absolutely gorgeous, okay? I don't know what that guy does, or the girl. I don't know what they do. I don't know how much money they're worth, how much they make, their cash flow. I don't know anything about that, okay? I would love to know. Honestly, if I wasn't filming this video, I'd ask him right now. But going through and understanding, this is very difficult to pick apart and dissect. A car like this, brand new with options. I don't know my Aston Martins that well, but let's just call it 300 grand, okay? You go ahead, you got okay credit, you know, with a few years backing up, you're a businessman. That's gonna cost you 50 grand down and you're gonna be paying 4,000 a month. Let's just call it 5 with insurance, okay? So that car's 5 grand a month if you wanna finance it. So it's really not that crazy. And even 300 grand, this is what continues to blow my mind. $1 million a month is nothing. And once you understand that it just moves up the ladder, and it's like, when is enough enough? That's what I'm thinking. And there's different levels of success. So, and success is more than just financial, but really understanding that, wow, that is a very gorgeous car, don't get me wrong. Still, you have to understand the principles of money is just money, it's a tool, it's a byproduct of something, and this is one thing that again blows my mind, understanding that, you know, $100,000 is not a lot of money. $1 million is not a lot of money. Like, I don't want to say it's not hard to get because I struggled for so long, so that would kind of decredit my ego a little bit. But you know, it feels good to be past that and fully understand it. So that one concept and being able to apply that in the business. Look, that's an old Ferrari. I think that's $1 million Ferrari right there. Followed by a Mercedes AMG. Like, that's why I'm out here, you know, like classic car stuff. That's real wealth there. So it does blow my mind to see, oh, look, another Mercedes AMG, the same one. So it really blows my mind to see that. And I want you guys to understand this real quick. Try and think about this for a second. Do you see these office buildings right here? How much do you think those cost? Okay, to buy the land, to build it up, you now own that. How much do you think any one of those cost? If I had to place an estimate, those are 40 to 100, I'd say 40 to 300 million, depending on the building. So definitely they could, I don't know my office building or down here in Newport, that could very well be a nice and expensive building. So compare that real quick to a $300,000 Lamborghini. 300,000, 40 million, 100 million. 300,000 now becomes nothing. Now let's take it a step up. If you want to own a private jet, let's say you're going to spend 20 million on a jet. And this is just financial to understand the piece, because this is what helped me make money and get over this hurdle of like, oh, I have enough. And this is one thing that now helps me continue to progress up, which is huge. A lot of people get comfortable typically once they pass their parents' income a little bit, which is interesting to see. So understanding that if you want to own a jet, you don't need $20 million. What are you gonna do? Spend all your money on a jet? Are you stupid? Like, you've got to have real cash flow for that. Not just cash sitting, cash flow. So to play a jet game, to play at the jet level game, you need like a lot of money, you know, a lot more than 20 million. So it's really interesting to see. Like, if you're gonna buy a jet in cash, I would say, you know, have 100 million at least. And that's if the jet makes total business sense for you. So you got to think about that stuff, and it's crazy. This is stuff that nobody told me. Like, I get a little bit of subliminal messaging from people online saying, like, you know, you just got to get your money right. Like, you know, people like Grant Cardone or whatever talking about it, but still, you know, like one of the guys I was actually with, and one of my buddies who's staying with me right now is actually out at dinner right now and going to the club with them, and a couple of his billionaire friends. This dude, Grant, learned real estate from this guy that we were out having lunch with. You know, Grant Cardone, he's almost got $1 billion worth of real estate under his holding company. A lot of people mistake that for him being a billionaire. He's not. This guy's a freaking billionaire. Like, it's crazy to see. Like, it blows my mind. It really does. So understanding the different levels of wealth and what you guys can have, I want you to take that into consideration. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know in the comments down below. Again, I'm not an expert on this stuff. I'm not a billionaire. I'm not even close. I'm broke as shit. I'm broke, you're broke. I don't care how much money you have, because no matter what, there's always someone who has more money, okay? Like, for the most part, unless you are like, there's only one dude. There can only be one richest person. So it literally still blows my mind to this day to understand all of that. What is this freaking guy doing here? So it literally does blow my mind. And I have no idea where I'm going right now. Whatever, that's kind of part of the adventure. So it really is interesting for me, I'm gonna pull over, to see all of that, okay? And that one concept, the first thing that made me 10,000 in a month was the Instagram influencer pages. Hitting my first 10K monthly, like consistent without falling back under for any reason, that was e-commerce. That was selling on Shopify. So that for me to understand the level I had to play at, the level I had to operate at, the targets, I had to readjust my targets. My life goal, okay, I'm gonna put this out there. I've never said this. My goal when I was like 13 or 14, this is the number that I thought of in my head, probably based on like social conditioning, what my parents said, teachers. You ready for this? You ready for this number? This is my single financial goal. I'm like, if I have this, I can do everything I want. House in Laguna Beach, drive a Wraith. I wanted a Wraith, a Range Rover, a Ferrari, and a McLaren. Could have done all that. I did the financing map out. Yeah, okay. 70,000 a month. 70,000 a month. Let's think about that for a second. Why that number? Okay, that's more in a month than most people make in a year. So think about it. Why that number? Where did that come up from? Okay, I think it was a little bit of reverse engineering based on the expenses of the things I wanted, while still leaving like 20 to 30,000 a month, you know, room to play around with and travel. That was my thought process behind that. But like once you figure something out, that going from whatever, you know, me hitting that first 10 and grasping these standpoints to going to 70 was a blur, you know, and it's crazy. So again, I'm not here to talk about financials, and I don't honestly want people to know how much I make. I'd rather be low key about that. I wish at certain times that I didn't talk about that stuff, but I feel like it's so important to share because I would have done anything to have this content 2-3 years ago. So a lot of people, again, are not gonna get that. It's something that once you start making money, which just make it. I don't care if your parents or your teachers are saying, you know, money's the bad thing or this and that, you know, it's the wrong thing to focus on, it's the wrong target. It's not the wrong target, okay? Money in itself is not gonna fix your problems. Money's not gonna make you happy. And again, that's something I'm like, oh, okay, sure. And then once you make it, you realize. So go make it, figure that out for yourself. Go through those issues, but you need to dig deeper. When I was a kid, I wanted money. Why? For a car. That's about it. I don't really think any level deeper than that. So you also have to think about peeling back those layers very, very slowly. Like, what is that reason? You know, if you're young and you only want money to have a nice car or whatever, then chase that. Use that as a motivation. But I guarantee you it's gonna change. It's gonna evolve. So do what you gotta do to figure out how to make money. I'm actually helping one of my best friends, like my single, you know, great friend from back in Minnesota where I grew up, get into e-commerce. Watch. If he's watching this, I don't know if he is, dude, I will personally help you start making more money than anywhere else. And I know you're going to school in like the shittiest area where it's just a bunch of broke people, and that's not the right environment to be around. Watch. So I'm gonna personally help him do that, okay? And that for me, being able to build those skills to figure out how to make money, and the reason I brought him up, he was telling me, and I already knew this stuff, but you know, people from my old friend group, my circle, and kids at my school used to talk to him because they knew he was friends with me, basically talking shit about me. Why is he always working? He doesn't come out and have fun, this and that, like talking shit. Yet they were the kids who would still sit inside all day smoking weed or playing video games. Here I am. And I'm not here to brag, I'm not here to say anything, because I don't have anything. And that's the crazy concept that blows my mind. Like, I've never felt so fearful about money in a good way, and I've never felt so broke before in my life. Ever. So it blows my mind. I'm just focused on my progression. I'm so excited as of right now to build a couple new companies. Absolutely mind blown by the amount of connections I'm getting. Just, you know, I don't just want all the connections in the world. I want to utilize the key strategic ones in not just a business sense, as friends. I like being around the right people. So that's everything for me. It's a quick update on, you know, kind of where I'm at. If you guys have been following the journey at all. If you haven't, I'd very much so appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel down below. Drop a lot of stuff on here. I do my best to post every single day. Just anything we're talking about. We primarily talk about e-commerce. That's where I make the most amount of my money. That's the specific expertise that I have built over the last 3 years. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, feel free to drop it down below. That whole concept of money, proportions, income, you know, that really is something that's helped me so much. That directly led, I could feel it. It was weird. I was looking at a couple of these kids who are now my friends on Instagram. You know, they're kind of flexing, doing their thing in the Hollywood Hills. And I was like, damn, that right there. That's what I want. Like, how do I get there? How do they have that? And once I fully understood the money piece, I just ran at it, and it happened. So, you know, you're probably gonna fail for a while. Holy shoot, that's a raccoon. That's a raccoon. I don't know why I'm freaking out, but I had never seen one of them in person. Let's zoom in. Look at that, right next to that white thing. Okay? Why is this not focusing? How can I change my camera? Wait a minute. Oh, he's gone. But anyways, yeah, that's my little spiel. You know, I like to do them on the move so I can think about different things. I'm just in my car, about to go get back to work. So again, I love cars, so I did spend money on a car. That was one of the things, since that was one of my initial motives, my initial drive. Guess what? When I started touching some money, I don't care that I spent money on a car. I bought an M4. So what? Like, yeah, it's got carbon fiber. Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, it's gold. Whatever. It's because I rented the same exact car, same color, not too long before I bought this one. Right when I had that shift, I'm like, I need to be around those to manifest. Oh, Mr. Raccoon is back. So I really did, and it helped me, and that's why I went ahead and bought the same one. So yeah, I don't know, I hope that helps you guys. If it did, let me know what kind of tip, what angle from that, how you can apply that into your life, what is gonna help you the most out of this video. I know it's a little bit of a controversial topic, but it's so beneficial. So I'm very much still looking forward to hearing your opinions and your thoughts and your feedback in the comments down below. With that being said, be sure to smash the like button. And other than that, I'll be seeing you tomorrow in the next video. Peace.